Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Trek, where I'll be talking about and reviewing an episode of the original series, The Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, or Enterprise. Today, I'm looking at Let He Who Is Without Sin, from Deep Space Nine's 5th season. Or as I like to call it, that time Dax did a ghost, but not in the same way as Beverly Crusher. This episode was requested by Peterson ZF. Thank you for the suggestion, and let's get going. We begin the episode with Dax sporting an injury, which Odo points out is due to him boinking Worf too hard, but she doesn't care, and mentions her and Worf are going to vacay on Risa, which Sisko is surprised by. Worf is salty because Dax had lunch with an ex, and complains about her spilling their relationship tea to anyone who will listen. Bashir and this lady who sounds like a cartoon character,
"We'd like to come along, if that's all right,"
invite themselves along, which upsets Worf even further. And when they get to the shuttle, they find Quark, also along for the ride.
Jadzia.
And into the credits we go. The atmosphere on the ride over is tense, so Quark hands out, what are those, sex toys? And the girls go off to change. Everyone beams down with a collection of fashion choices, a smooch for you, and Quark chases after these girls. Get it, Quark? Worf is being a grumpy pants, so Dax strikes a pose, causing him to mumble out a compliment, before Vanessa Williams shows up, and so does the Speedo logo. Arandis snoo-snoo Dax to death, which makes Worf uncomfortable, and he and Dax get into an argument. Nice undies. This dude shows up, the chairman of the yada 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 essentialist something. Hey, he was in the A-Team, and he gives out a pamphlet about his hatred for Risa, which Worf is interested in. He and Dax walk in on Lita getting handsy with this guy, which disgusts Worf, and he stomps off to the essentialist rally, where they find Bashir kissing some woman, before Arandis scoffs at Fullerton's efforts to change people's minds. It's less of a speech, more of a roast, but Worf is impressed by it, and he preaches at Bashir and Dax before getting mad over Bashir and Lita's infidelity. But she explains they're actually going through a breakup ritual, and they run off to bang. The place gets raided by the Essentialists to prove a point.
The galaxy is a hostile place. Forget that even for a moment, and you risk losing everything.
So Dax gives him a mouthful, so Fullerton appeals to Worf, who gives it some thought. That night, he and Dax have an argument, with Worf wanting her to take the relationship seriously, and Dax wanting him to lighten up a bit, but neither are willing to budge. Dax goes to Arandis for support, who basically tells her to get laid, while Lita and Bashir complete their breakup with Quark watching, who is disappointed by how boring it all was, until Lita admits she has feelings for Rom.
Rom?
Worf goes looking for Dax and finds her, she's doing something alright, which enrages him, so he goes to join the Essentialists. The boys question why Dax even bother with Worf, before an unexpected storm hits, causing everyone to flock inside. Fullerton gets all smug now he has a pet Worf to sabotage the weather grid, and the three of them tell Worf off, while Arandis tries to cheer people up. Worf wants to go home, so meets Dax in their room, where they have even more relationship drama, which goes on for some time, where the word Klingon is said about 48 times. Worf launches into a sad story from his childhood, where a soccer game gone wrong resulted in the death of a human boy, which is why he's so restrained now, so as not to hurt anyone else. Dax is like, that's nice, that explains things, before earthquakes shake the complex, so Worf demands the weather doodad back from Fullerton, who then bitch slaps him. It doesn't go well.
I am on vacation.
The episode ends with Dax and Worf going skinny dipping. Okay, this is the lowest rated DS9 episode, and I get it. Hardcore fans of the show probably didn't like the campy tone and the relationship drama, but for me, who's not a big fan of super serious episodes, this was fine. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't great, too much bickering for me, but it gave some backstory on Worf, and the whole Essentialist plotline was interesting, and raises an interesting point. Is there any time to relax during war, or is it essential to rest in order to be at your best? Honestly, that's the only real takeaway from this one. This wrap-up is going to be short, because outside the Worf stuff, it was just silly nonsense. Like Dax sexily making Clay, Bashir and Lita having the most civil and prolonged breakup ever, and Quark disappearing to go do whatever for half the episode. The weather screwing up was a good punctuation to the story though, as people started to leave due to the rain. But in life, you gotta gotta take the storm with the sunshine. So there you have it. That was Let He Who Is Without Sin. If there's an episode of Star Trek you'd like me to cover, pop it down in the comments below or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot, or consider subscribing if you want to be assimilated into my channel. Alternatively, feel free to check out my other YouTube channels. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and live long and prosper.